Hello everyone, I'm the Nerdy Fool and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. So we didn't really have a great plan of what we were going to do at the end of the last episode, so I decided to look at the map and see what's out there that's marked. Obviously there's still this murder target Cora, not sure if I'm still supposed to do anything there because we've already helped her. But I saw these two that are kind of off by themselves, the Hag Survivors and Investigate the Suspicious Toys. Both of those sounded cool, and so that was my plan before I saw this. We've got the murder target Figaro here, but more importantly, investigate the murders. Chase down the serial killer. Is the serial killer right there at Figaro? If I don't go there now, is he going to be dead by the time I get around to him? I don't know. But it certainly feels like that is more important, since the serial killer, chasing down the serial killer seems to be at that location. So I think that's the plan, is we're going to head there. Maybe it's just clues towards the serial killer. I don't know. But yeah, that's caught my interest, the fact that the quest is pointing there. So let's go that way. It seems to be basically straight west, directly ahead of us. Let's keep an eye out to see if there's anyone of interest to check out. Whoa, there was something glowing blue. Well, whatever it is, we don't see it now. Oh, a new teleport spot. Good.
City of steel and justice.
Does he say anything about the horrible present of Baldur's Gate? City of crime and chaos.
No. He avoids that topic.
I have something to
Hello, you two.
Got a tip for you, mate. Don't believe everything you read.
What are you staring at, pal? You dropping eaves? Get gone.
Okay. I will not interrupt you two.
Gazette has a
So
transcript.
we're wanting to go, yeah, this way.
What's he got to say for himself?
You aren't a stonemason by any chance? Nah,
No, I'm not.
not.
I don't suppose I look like a stonemason.
You one of Tamrin's friends? Well, we haven't seen him. He did a runner one night, never came back. You won't find him here.
Cameron. Name doesn't sound familiar. Wow, are we... Apparently we are on the edge of being encumbered if picking up a hammer is going to encumber us. I hate always dealing with this, but it is what it is. I just never have enough carrying capacity. Maybe I shouldn't be holding on to... How much does this weigh? Can I see the whole stack? 8.6 pounds worth of healing potions. Alright, yeah. Let's take some of that stuff and give it to, say, Shadowheart. There we go. That gives us a bit more capacity. Okay, you guys are still this direction. We're now moving through a cemetery? Maybe? Or just a gardens? Maybe just a gardens. Just saw the big statue and assumed incorrectly. The Liberated.
A tribute to liberty. Compliments of Stony and Bony.
Huh. Alright. Bunch of named people. Hey, Albert.
Sparky! Sparky! Oh, we need to go home for tea. Ugh, he won't listen, and he's too fast to catch. Stupid dog.
It's quitter talk. Go get your dog. Don't be rude to your dog. He's doing a great job running. Yeah, don't be rude to your dog.
Yeah, that's the problem. Sparky is too good at running. I tried already, but I've only got little legs. Say, you're tall. Maybe you'd have better luck.
Let me see what I can do.
Good luck.
That's probably not true. Hey, Sparky?
Run! Oh, friend! Hello?
Do I still have Speak with Animals going? Because we definitely took the potion of See Invisibility. I know that's still running because we've got the icon over our head. And I would have thought those would have canceled each other out because usually you can only have one elixir running at a time, I thought. Why are you running around in circles? Your owner's calling for you. You should probably stop running. Why are you running around in circles?
This running is brilliant!
Your owner's calling for you. You should probably stop running.
Stop running? But then I won't be running anymore.
Running isn't that good. Deception, be careful. I heard dogs can only run 100 times in their lives. No. Persuasion, running will feel even better tomorrow if you take a little break for the day. Yeah. Just relax, go home with your owner, and then tomorrow you can run far better and far longer. I don't need the bonus for guidance.
Stop running to run better. Okay. See you later. Home.
Alright, kid. Anything to say? I guess the kid teleported away. He is equally fast as his dog. Hello, you. You have a name.
Park's no place for a stroll anymore. More likely to find a muggin than a picnic these days.
They can try.
Feel an all too familiar squirm in the recesses of your mind. She has a tadpole.
Or perhaps you'll find something bloodier. The Absolute's warriors are at work, just beyond here. You'd be wise to not interfere, brother.
What's going on in the park?
Nothing's going on. And even if there was something, you'd be wise to ignore it. Absolute's business. Got it? Now be off. You'll attract attention. In her name.
Huh. If we found an excuse to kill her, we could get another tadpole. The founder.
I still remember
Baldur, the city's founder, gazes out to sea.
Okay. What about you two?
Only been a month when...
Right here, just 1 month ago, my Eugenie agreed to our courtship. It's a good place for romance. Take it from me. Though I must admit, all the clankery from the flaming fists dampens the mood somewhat.
Yeah, I just saw you pop up
First date in this part, you know. There were certainly less fists.
with my See Invisibility.
It's only been a month when...
Also, the flies buzzing around. Oh, a beehive. Not flies, bees.
It's been. Right, darling?
Death's Head of Bull. You're also Sinister Hooded Man. Syrian is weirdly glowing. Unstoppable 3. Aura of Murder, ambushing. Unstoppable 3. Are either of you on the murder hit list? I would assume not, since you don't have a warning thing to warn them.
It's a bit loud. What with all these
Do I talk? No, I'm worried if I talk to her, he's gonna sneak up and attack.
Listen, Wendell.
Let's just talk to him.
I really think we need to have
We redden our steel by the light of day in his name. You are our lamb, ready for slaughter.
Okay.
Lady Orin asked us to test you, but I think you'll fail. What say you, little lamb?
Well, the stunning is a problem. Wow, double critical misses. Alright, the stuns on all of us is a problem. Oh, wow, they are all enemies. Oh. Well, you just killed those civilians. That sucks. We did see someone go invisible, but I happen to have see invisibility on me. Unfortunately, I'm guessing Shadowheart is basically the only one of us not stunned. No. Lae'zel isn't stunned. Astarion isn't stunned. Am I the only one stunned? Okay, Astarion managed to shake it off, I guess. What can you do? Might go with a bless again. If we use... Oh, we are using second level because we're out of first level spells. So she can affect herself. Target is out of sight. Oh, come on. Alright, back off. Take a slight step to the side. There you go. Let's get bless on all of us. And then have you back off somewhat.
Heading there.
Yeah. Alright, Lae'zel. So we've got a level 8, level 8, level 3, level 3, level 3. And whoever the invisible person is, I don't know where they went, but they're probably level 8 as well. We're level 11, I'm not super worried. Do I have you use your menacing attacks just for extra damage? Could do.
This is your end.
What is unstoppable? Reduce the next damage taken by the entity to 1 and consumes 1 charge of unstoppable. Unstoppable creatures cannot be moved by any external forces, mundane or magical. Hang on. Wow. She did 2 damage with that attack. I'm glad I didn't waste the menacing attack. So we just got to beat through their unstoppable. I could do an action surge to get 3 more attacks on you. Might as well. We're probably going to rest soon enough because I think we are out of short rests and we're running somewhat low on spell slots. There you go. Now we can actually do real damage. So, Menacing Strike gets you roughly half dead. Alright, I think that is a solid first turn. We are no longer stunned, but that was the end of our turn, it seems. Meanwhile, guards are just totally ignoring this. Oh, you...
Keep out of this, Captain. Do not forget who you serve.
Of course. Apologies. I warned him not to interfere. Not I. We. And we do not serve.
Defective. Very well. Another offering to Baal.
Huh. That's weird. Okay, another invisible. Yeah, so... she was agreeing and then suddenly changed. Very odd. You have unstoppable. Grrr. Unstoppable 3, which means all 3 of his attacks are just going to be wasted. I don't suppose that sneak attack will count as one of these separate attacks. Probably not. Alright. It did. You're down to Unstoppable 1. So, yeah, waste our sneak attack, but at least we got through 2 of your Unstoppables. And lastly... yeah... what a pain.
Let this murder be his sacrament!
She's half dead. Part of me wants to save her because she's on our side, but she's also an absolute cultist, so... yeah. Odd. Very odd. Just looking at some of these options. Kind of want to just pull Divine Intervention off of my hotbar so I don't accidentally ever use it. 36%. That is so bad. Okay. Dex saves, apparently you're amazing at. Could do something like Guiding Bolt. 4 to 24 damage as opposed to 6 to 16. It's probably fine. Just have you attack. Give her some poison. Oh, yep, she's gonna die. There we go. Yeah, so all the Flaming Fist have joined the fight on our side. Very interesting. You have 36 health. That is very little. Not enough that I can just easily kill you for sure. I could cast a Twin Haste, but I don't think it's really needed for this fight. Yeah, let's use our quick spell, which will make this be a bonus action. Yeah, no, I don't need to crit. I think it's fine. And then using our action, hit her again. Not quite dead. That is a shame.
What path lies before me?
I don't know what Aura of Murder is. Probably should have looked at that.
Someone dressed in their bathrobe. I refuse.
That's a weird statement to make.
Victory.
Alright, Lae'zel, can you finish her off for me? Thank you. Then... can't get there. Give me a jump, please. Without taking damage.
I will not know fate.
One more hit. Perfect. We've got, what, 2, 3 left? Do we know where you are? I don't think we do. You're the one up there. Are the other two... no, you're over here. You are the one that went invisible. Can I go back to you? Let's cancel your end turn. Oh, I was going to say have you move around to see if you can spot him with your see invisibility. But you are out of movement, so never mind. Good enough. Oh. Well, cool. You died. Huh. We know he's right there. What can I do with you, Astarion? How do I get... I don't think that we're going to get him up there to help out with that. I could dash to try and get you over here. Might as well. It'll take 2 dashes, but then you still have your action to attack, and if you can't get close enough with your action, then we could instead use your action to just shoot with your bow. That is, in fact, fast enough to get close. So head on over there. And attack. Goodbye. Then keep running this way.
My faith will protect me.
What can you do? You get to a point where you can cast. I'll probably need to manually move you closer. Still too far. Not enough movement. So you can't even shoot at disadvantage? Well, darn. I guess let's have you dash. Pull out your melee weapon. Do I send you over here so that you're able to better interact with the invisible guy? Yeah, you're within the Ore of Murder. What does that mean? Okay. Ore of Murder. Affected entity is vulnerable to piercing damage. Interesting. There we go.
Another step forward.
See invisibility? No. Could just try and throw it to the general area that I think he is. I don't know if it works that way. Because he's right there-ish. Yeah. Better than dashing, I think. No. Yeah, I think you have to use an area attack. I can't use a targeted attack without seeing. That's fair. What do we do with you? Since you apparently can't spot this individual. I mean, I could have you just take a couple of bow shots, I suppose. Yeah, those aren't terrible chances. It's another instance where, in a proper D&D campaign, I would use a readied action, so that when he popped up, I would be ready to make a weapon attack against him. I suppose, does she have cleave? Probably should have cleaved, because that would hit the area. Oh well. We'll see what happens when he reveals himself. And back to invisible. Presumably you're still... Yeah, right there. Alright, looks like you can technically dash through the water. Wow, you have 1 hit point left. And I can't shoot. We're probably going to need to dash, aren't we? Look at how close that is to being within range. What a shame. Alright. Cutting action dash. Can you get close enough to attack? No. You're just barely out of range. Alright, so be it. That's you taken care of. We've just got the one more. So let's start you back down here. Switch over to your melee weapon.
I'm ready.
What can you do? If we're going to rest soon, then I can use some of my area effects. Although the only thing I can see is Flame Strike, and a 5th level Flame Strike feels a bit much. He is 5th level and has 58 health. Maybe that isn't as much overkill as it feels like. 'Cause, yeah, he's right there. Alright, and then everyone else can attack him.
Still breathing.
And by everyone else, I mean Varric. Let's see. 1 cantrip for 3 to 24, 6 to 36, 3 to 30. This is fine. So Luck of the Far Realms. I think it's a once per day thing. But again, I'm thinking we're going to rest soon. But I do actually still want to get up here to investigate the murders, which probably will involve another fight. So perhaps I shouldn't go all out yet. Good 25 damage. Oh, and Lae'zel's going to still have a turn. Perfect, he's dead. 3 attacks from her will be more than enough. Yep, goodbye, Reaper of Baltist Clotilde.
Let my name be
Clotilde. Ooh. Brain is unhappy.
What's going on here? Someone raised the...
You feel a familiar squirm deep in your mind. She has a tadpole, but something grasps at it. Something powerful.
Quick. Must be quick. This mind is small. Fragile as an egg. Listen now.
Huh. Am I talking to the Absolute in this case? Who are you? I'm listening, you're bleeding, or use our parasite to explore her thoughts. Who are you?
You know us. Absolute will. Absolute power. Not much time left. This mind cannot bear us. Turns to liquid. Listen close. We learn. We grow. Loosen our clumsy bindings. Aid us, necromancer, dead. Changeling and tyrant remain at odds. Kill them. You have a place in my grand design.
This elder brain can use the tadpole to seize minds. What more is that abomination capable of?
So many. So many of them. They love me.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, fist people. All your people are dying. Sorry. Entirely not my fault. Strike in Ball's name. O devotee of untimely death. It's time to skin, to flay, to make our presence felt. The terror must not wane. Those arrogant adventurers, make a bloody example of them. Tear them to gobbets. I will ensure that the hapless fists stay out of it. And if any bystanders suffer unintended maiming or death, well, that's simply more offerings to Almighty Baal. If the bystanders suffer unintended maiming or death, that looked very intentional, their attacks on them. That wasn't accidental. Dagger. Murderous cut. Prey upon the weak. This weapon deals an additional 1 to 4 piercing damage against targets with 50% of their hit points or fewer. Not amazing. We'll take it. It's got some value, and we'll take that as evidence if we run into the lady investigating the murders. Just basic daggers. Do you have a parasite for me? You do, in fact.
Being arrested for theft. If you have a defense, make it now.
Oops. I didn't realize taking the parasite out of your friend's brain would upset you. How about a little something to smooth things over?
Your bribery attempt has caused some offense. Violence it is.
Oops. Do we go to prison? Feels like that's gonna be a problem. But also, if I just murder all the fists in the local area, are we going to have a criminal record that's going to cause problems with the rest of our time in Baldur's Gate? I kind of didn't think about the fact that it was stealing from the corpse because it was a parasite. And now I'm kind of disappointed in how this is turning out. Alright, we will acquiesce and follow to prison. I'm curious to see how this shakes out.
We cannot defeat the brain without that stone.
I know. Hey, Skittle.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
A new client? What a thrill. For you? Latterly? Some call me the Great Collector. Others, the Merchant of Mysteries. But you, my friend, you can call me Skittle. Step up and marvel at the spectacular wonders on offer.
A mercantile rodent. How radical. What sort of items does the Great Collector collect? Let me have a look at your stock. A mercantile rodent. How radical.
Indeed, my mirthful mate. Care to take a squeak at my fan-ratstical wares?
Sure. Is this business ratified by the local merchants league? It must be difficult to obtain goods in prison. What does it entail? What's for sale? I'd like to take a squeak. Enough rat puns. Show me your inventory. Yeah, what's for sale? I'd like to take a squeak. You have Elixir of Universal Resistance. Gain resistance to all damage. I'm gonna... Insufficient gold. Did the guards steal all of my money? I have 3,000... No, that's camp supplies. I have 256 gold. That's it. That's it? Okay, well that's not okay. I had like 20 or 30,000. And I intend to get it back. Counting house safe number 2 key. Huh. Thieves' tools. Huh. Why am I carrying a 20-pound chest on me? That's empty. Well, maybe that's part of why I'm super encumbered. Sorry, Rat. I have no money. The rest of my party... Well, I guess Astarion is carrying a 20-pound chest on him. Not me. I have no goods. Including my weapons. Huh.
Is that all?
Sadly, yes. I need to get my gear.
Not everyone subscribes to what is mine is yours.
Oh, come on. It's in my cell. Seriously? Alright, so... Pit latrine. It's probably a place I can escape to, but I'd have to get through this wall. I really don't want to cause huge problems busting my way out of here. Can I talk to you? Mistakes were made.
No interest in speaking to a criminal.
I mean, how criminal was I? I could control the rest of my team and bring them in here. Kethric's Netherstone. That's where my goods are. So I can't just escape. I have to get there to grab all of my stuff. Let's do a minor illusion to distract people. That did not distract you at all. This guy does not care one bit. Huh. The wall, I'm sure, has tons of resistances. Weakness to force, but it probably is sturdy, so I have to do 10 hit points of damage in a single hit to even damage it. Telekinesis is not force damage inherently on itself. I could do magic missile, but that's not going to do 10 damage per hit. I can punch things. That's not going to be successful. Thunder is not force, it's thunder damage. What can I do to get out of this situation? There aren't really any good options, all things considered. Whoa, don't open random things, dude. Yeah. I can't really lockpick, even if I wanted to try. Yeah, I'm not sure what the intended solution for someone being in prison is. Like, obviously the game doesn't intend you to just lose if you go to prison. But am I really supposed to send the rest of my team in here and just murder our way through all the guards? Because that seems like a weird call as well. I can't examine anymore? Hello? Okay, I was wanting to relook at the weaknesses, but I guess they're there. Don't know why examining doesn't work anymore. It's probably not a good thing. Can you do force damage? You can't. Fire is resisted. Lightning, cold, psychic. Yeah, I guess thunder is one of the few that isn't resisted. So if I did thunder damage, it does full damage. And I just have to hope that I'm rolling above a 10. I could go with something like this to almost guarantee I roll above a 10. Feels like a bit of a waste. Hey guards, don't worry about any noise you've heard. Let's just toss down a quick save. Disguise kit, cloth armor, surgery kit. Alright, if we sneak now.
Just out of view.
Oh, who is watching? Okay. No one's watching for the moment. grab the disguise kit. Gloves. Cloth armor. Go back into our cell. These guys are clearly not paying attention to the fact that there's a giant hole in the wall now. If I can disguise myself... Cast spell? Why, yes, I am a... feminine gnome. Definitely not the person you're looking for.
Something over there.
A hole? Okay. I could also put on the armor. Just in the hopes that it disguises me farther, but I don't think that would actually matter. At least I hope not. Hi there. What are the chances that no one can see me here? Hide. Technically, no one is seeing me.
Very well.
Just quickly loot all the things. There's my 16k gold. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk out of here. Don't worry about me. Just a friendly gnome. That's a crazy disguise kit.
Her name is Baldur.
Kindly lower your voice, madam.
So where am I now? Okay, I'm over here. By the Basilisk Gate. I think this is where we came into Baldur's Gate. Yeah. We'll hold off on exploring all of this and just get back over to the rest of our party. Well, that was definitely a thing. Probably shouldn't have gone with gnome because it wouldn't surprise me if I'm stuck with the gnome's shorter walking speed. But at least for the moment, I'm not super focused on switching out of my gnome form in case they are keeping an eye out for me. I don't know if they will be.
Read the Gazette today yet, mate?
I guess I'm starting to go down new roads we haven't taken before, which isn't my goal. So maybe I should get back into the paths that we used before. Alright, we went up through here. We're getting there. And I can dispel my disguise at any point. That's fine. But yeah, for now, I'm fine keeping it. The rest of my party is this way, gathered around the bodies still. And yeah, we're not allowed to loot them. We could loot the cultist. At least they didn't seem to be upset when I tried it. But the fists, they don't want me looting. I suppose that's fine. Alright, regroup up. Do you have anything of interest? No. Alright, and we shouldn't loot the random
Might be useful.
people, it seems. The pedestrians that were killed. Huh. We'll read both of those. You were important looking, so maybe I should... I can loot you, but not the others. Heroic portrait of Gortash. Ha! Alright, what do these say? A home for every working Baldurian. A home for every working Baldurian. If you work, you are entitled to a decent life. If you don't, you don't belong in Baldur's Gate. There's no room for the lazy in the Pearl of the Sword Coast. And surrender your burdens. Does sorrow grip your heart? Does rage cloud your mind? Do you ever wish to surrender all that holds you back in life? It can be so at the House of Grief. To be unburdened of your troubles is to be reborn. Seek us out, and we shall discover the very best version of you. The House of Grief. We'll keep an eye out for that. Alright, Syrian. I don't know why you're free to loot. Murderous Cut. Okay, were you... I guess you were another one of the cultists. I'd already forgotten that. I'll take your Murderous Cut as well. Oh, I probably need to re-equip my gear, don't I? Yes, I do. So we will grab that. And then... what was our ranged weapon? Sort by equipment. We had a bow of some variety. Not that it matters overly much. I don't see any bows. Am I just blind? Could be. Fairly certain we had a bow. Something in our ranged slot. Don't know if it was a crossbow or whatever. Didn't pay enough attention. Well, whatever. We never used ranged attacks, so it's probably fine. Yeah, well, that was a fun little side diversion that I was not expecting. We are still trying to make our way up here. So let's get out of the park. Rest of the group following. I probably should camp. Yeah, let's go to camp. We can rest up. It's been a while since we've gone around and talked to everyone. So I think I will break my disguise now. Mainly because in camp I want to look like myself. And yeah, we'll go around, talk to everyone as usual, then camp, and then, or I guess change it tonight, and then talk to everyone again. The usual. You guys know how this works.
Voss stands at the ready. All that remains is to return to the astral prism and break Orpheus free. How we get in remains to be seen.
Yeah, we haven't figured out how to get back to the astral prism, but that is still our plan. At least, to my mind, we still want to break Orpheus free because having Orpheus battle off the rest of the Githyanki and Blackith is good. Don't want to give the crown to Raphael afterwards, so we're still working on that half of the plan.
Aelin left to face that wizard, Lorroakan, was it? Even after all she's been through, she thinks herself unstoppable, invincible. It all feels like recklessness to me.
Yeah, some of it is. Lorroakan can't harm her, have faith. I can't just tell her that we already won. She's reckless but powerful. Lorroakan's probably already dead. Lorroakan is definitely already dead. You're right, her temper will get the better of her. She's reckless but powerful. Lorroakan's probably already dead.
I hope you're right. He sounds like a vile, vile man. I'd have liked to get a few licks in myself, honestly. I wanted to help her, but she said she fights better when she knows I'm safe. I understand, I suppose. I feel the same about her.
Makes sense. I'm going to help her fight against Lorroakan, and by I'm going to, I mean I already did. She can take care of herself, she's Dame Aelin, remember? Yeah, I'm going to help her in the fight that we already did.
I'll rest a little easier if you do. You fought well against my father. I imagine a rat like Leroican will be nothing in comparison.
His connection to the elementals was surprising, but yeah, not overly that much of a problem. Anything else to say now that the fight's over?
Moon Maiden, hear me. Protect the woman we both love so very dearly.
Okay.
Leave Aelin to her sorrow. Likely the wizard only reminds her of all the other fools past and present who have sought to use her.
Probably true. Have you thought any more about how we might find Minsk?
I have. And while I do not love my conclusion, that does nothing to change it. The Harpers are the city's best information network. With them out of action, we shall have to fall back on second best. Nine Fingers Keen.
Okay.
A name known and feared throughout the city's
Yeah.
underworld. The mysterious Keen runs the guild, which in turn runs every criminal enterprise in the city.
But we know Keen dislikes Gortash. We read that in a note or something, that Keen was upset that Gortash was taking over too much of the criminal enterprise. So maybe will help us fight back against Gortash if we can get on their good side. The guild, you'd throw your lot in with thieves? I didn't think a Harper would be friends with a petty crime lord. I mean, she didn't say she's friends with him. She is no one to be trifled with. Yeah, I think we'll just go with that as a simple statement. She is no one to be trifled with.
Nor are we. But I trust she knows the value of collaboration, especially in times like these. How hospitable she will be to a Harper that comes begging to her guild hall, we will find out. Perhaps I will let you do the talking.
You probably will, since you refused to journey with me.
I don't get it. What's got Dame Aelin so down? I, for one, am delighted Leroican got what was coming to him.
As am I, but Dame Aelin has endured a great deal. She must be tired of killing evildoers. Perhaps revenge isn't as sweet as it seems. As she went too far, there's something dark in her and it's growing. That's possible, and if so, that's bad. I believe Azamar can fall. Like fallen angels. And if she's heading that path, that's not good, since she's the daughter, the literal daughter of the Moon Maiden. Hopefully not. Perhaps revenge isn't as sweet as it seems, which is a bit of a statement towards Karlach as well.
Believe me, I plan to revel mightily once I've finished with Gortash.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Dame Aelin will be back to herself by then, so she can congratulate me on a Merthera well broken.
I expected Nightsong to be overjoyed after killing her fair-haired fool. Instead, she just seemed tired.
Yeah. Maybe vengeance isn't all it's cracked up to be. Worried he'll feel the same when you kill Kazdor. He'll never admit to that. Even if he does end up feeling a similar regret, he wouldn't admit to it now. She's probably just a better person than you are. Wow. Maybe vengeance isn't all it's cracked up to be.
No, I don't think that's it. She probably just needs some time for it to sink in. I'm sure she'll be elated soon.
I mean, she's in a different situation because Leroican was just a current problem as opposed to someone like Kazdor that has had influence over Astarion for hundreds of years. Like, if it was her killing Ketheric again, that would be a very different thing than a guy who was just like, yeah, I've got a plan to try and imprison you. And she just went and murdered him for it. And it's like, okay, yeah, he was a bad guy, but you don't have the anger from hundreds of years of torture backing up that act of rage. It was just you met him today and killed him. So it probably feels different.
Dame Aelin has little to feel sorry about. The Roakan would have inflicted a far worse fate on her given the chance.
Very true. Why does Elminster have such faith in you?
I've often asked myself the same question, but never really found a satisfactory answer. He clearly sees something in me that I can't. The wisdom and intelligence required to overcome almost insurmountable odds. Or the stupidity required to attempt it. I take it as a compliment either way. You don't get to be 13 centuries old without becoming a sound judge of character. And cheese, apparently.
13 centuries. Wow. That's old. Do you not regret not using the orb when you had the chance? I mean, he didn't have the chance. He wasn't in the party. But I guess I will ask.
I regret many things in my life. Choosing to be here, intact and unexploded, is not one of them. Though the orb still seems to offer our best hope of destroying the brain, I retain some hope that another, less costly solution can be found. For now, to have a few more days in your company, no. I wouldn't change a thing.
Thanks. I think that's everyone. Oh, well, we can talk to this kid. Who I guess is not the spy in our camp, maybe?
I brought my own paring knife.
Yeah. You've said the same thing. Alright. Well, let's camp for the night. Oh, I didn't mean to pick up the bedroll. I thought this was our camp. You can drop that bedroll. We don't need another one. Thank you very much. End the day. Yes. What's the latest, Will? Ah.
Sorore surge, testis esto pacti me.
Huh.
Come, sisters, be my testament. Notum sit in beator.
Notum sit in beator.
You've heard of such devils. Sisters of justice. Adjudicators of diabolical contracts and bargains.
Holy hells.
Is this where she's freeing Will? Because I didn't think that was happening yet, but I don't know what else this could be. Just what are you up to? Interesting. I don't recall sending out invitations to the Sisters of Justice. Please introduce me to your friends. The Duke's been taken. Now what? Yeah, just what are you up to?
I come to bargain. The hells demand witness.
Enough, Mizora. Where is my father? How do I save him?
Right.
How else? We bargain. Sisters.
Infernos contractos te vocamos. Infernos contractos te vocamos. Infernos contractos te vocamos.
Your contract, Will. Signed in blood, forged in fire, bound in bone, but not unbreakable.
What are you proposing, or then break it already? Will doesn't need to wait 6 months. Or remain silent. What are you proposing?
A life for a life. No contract is ended without sacrifice. The cost must be paid. Will Ravengard, a choice is before you. Option 1. I show you the way to your father. I guarantee him no harm except that from you and your allies. And you pledge your soul to me and the archdevil Zariel in a pact eternal.
Don't like that.
Option 2. I break your pact, and you are freed from your duty. Your father dies by his enemy's hand, and Baldur's Gate loses its greatest champion. Name your sacrifice.
Bloody Zariel. I won't let her take Will.
Silence, Karlak.
Zora, you asshole!
Yep.
Choose.
Yeah. That is a tough choice. Because obviously Will wants to save his father, but his father already has a parasite, and to the best of our knowledge, there's no way to undo that. So he's kind of already to some extent a lost cause, although arguably the same amount of a lost cause as the rest of us. So, But Will pledging his soul eternally to Mizora and Zariel seems bad. What'll happen to Will's powers if he breaks the pact? Good question. I assume they go away. But obviously he wouldn't just suddenly turn into a commoner. He'd get some sort of class. Yeah. Also, the way their legs are sticking out through their dress seems odd. Save your father, Will. The city will need him to help rebuild. Maybe. Do the right thing. Give your soul so that your father can live. Probably not. Break the pact, Will. You deserve freedom. Let your father die. When the city's free, you can take his place. Alright, that's a rough statement. And Will won't care about his freedom. I don't think that... I mean, he cares about his freedom, of course, but over the value of his life, his father's life, no. What will happen to Will's power if he breaks the pact?
Addendum F. The Absolute must be avenged for the Soulbinder's detention at Moonrise. The Soulbearer retains his gifts until such time as the Absolute is slain.
Oh. Huh. So, if he breaks the pact, he still gets to keep the powers until the Absolute is slain. That's convenient. Yeah, I don't think Ravengard, his father, is sufficient cause. There's enough problems going on in the city that one more official dying is not the end of the world. Like, his father, I don't think would make a big enough difference to matter. And Will could take his father's place, although he'd probably have a hard time doing that when he has horns and looks like part devil. But, yeah. Break the pact, Will. You deserve your freedom.
You damned wretch. Father.
We can still try and save him.
Do it. Break the pact.
He went for it. I thought we'd have to persuade him or something.
Fiat Ita.
Fiat Ita. Anima ad beator.
Didn't think you had it in you. Seems my boy's all grown up. And don't go fussing about your father. You made your choice. You knew the terms. You know what? I think I'll stick around. Not for the greater good, you understand. Just for the entertainment.
Yeah, if you stick around, Karlak's probably going to try and kill you. She doesn't like you, in case you weren't aware. I'm guessing Will wants to talk. We'll go around and talk to everyone again. They probably have things to say now about what just went on with Will.
Time and again, Will's plight reinforces my decision not to pursue the path of a warlock. It's one thing to make such a sacrifice in the pursuit of such a pact, but to do so in order to escape one. Truly, it leaves you with nothing.
Yeah.
Will gave up his father to have freedom. An understandable decision. Sacrifices must be made after all.
Yeah.
Especially if the old Duke's fall means his rise.
Yeah, Astarion understands that completely and would make the same decision without question. So are you just going to hang out in our camp now? That's so weird.
Little Will's all grown up. I can't wait to see what trouble he gets into.
You forced Will to make an impossible choice. Very true. Will's not a child. You need to start treating him with respect. She's not going to. Can't believe Will actually sacrificed his father to save himself. Or that's it, then Duke Ravengard's dead. We're gonna still do our best to try and save him if possible. You forced Will to make an impossible choice.
Impossible? My bargain was uncommonly reasonable. A single soul for the return of Baldur's Gate's most beloved Duke. A real bargain, I should think. I never thought the legendary Blade of Frontiers would surrender his father for freedom. Not very valorous, if you ask me. But what does a mean old devil like me know about heroes?
Yeah. I don't get it. If Will isn't your warlock, why stick around and give him power? A good question. Besides, apparently, that the pact that's now broken says she has to. Seems weird. You left Karlach alone. Didn't you want her dead? What changed? Also an interesting question. What can you tell me about the Hells? You never told me how the Absolutists captured you. I want you out of here now. If you're going to be staying, I need something in return. Probably not. Making deals with her sounds bad. Yeah, if Will isn't your warlock, why stick around and give him power?
The Absolutists worked a number on me at Moonrise. And you're the best hope I've got at payback. No one crosses the Hell's children without getting scorched.
Okay. Reasonable. You never told me how the Absolutists captured you.
Correct. I didn't. If you must know, I was scouting the cultists on behalf of Zariel. But those cursed shadows were thick enough to fell even a half-fiend. I woke in that damned pod. It kept my body sealed and my most powerful magic silenced. But a brave, kind, benevolent soul set me free. Gallantry isn't dead after all.
Uh-huh. So, some cultists managed to take her down? Either she's way weaker than I would think, or there are some more powerful cultists than we've had to deal with. You left Karlach alone. Didn't you want her dead? What changed?
You are an inquisitive one.
Yes.
I'd have thought you'd figured by now. Zariel found new use for an old battle axe. The dead three in that bulging brain of theirs are a threat to more than this trifling city, you know. Savor her company. Who's to say when Zariel might change her mind? My mistress can be so capricious.
What can you tell me about the Hells?
The 9 Hells of Beator. Each its own domain, each with its own archdevil to rule it. I call the first Hell my home, Avernus. My mistress Zariel's realm, a torrid battleground split by the bloody waters of the Styx. How I adore it, the delicious agony of it all. The other 8, well, they are pleasures unto themselves. Perhaps I'll show you myself, if I deem you worthy.
Probably not. I'm gonna say this. If you're going to be staying, I need something in return. just to see what the option is, like where it goes. But I don't intend to make any deals with her because that sounds like a bad idea.
Why? I'm supplying Will with every scrap of his infernal power. I've paid my dues many times over. I tell you what, when the time comes to squish that big baddie of a brain, I'll lend you a hand.
Okay. That sounds like a great freebie that I will take. Thank you.
I can't believe Will's given up his soul to Zariel. For a father he fell out with ages ago. There's such a thing as being too good. Someone ought to tell Will Ravengard.
He didn't? I can't believe Will gave up his soul to Zariel for a father he fell out of ages ago. No, he gave up his father to get his soul back. You clearly were not paying attention to what went down. That seems like a bug. Hey, you're back, Aelin.
I did not know Duke Ravengard that well. But I am sure he would not want his son to become slave to Zariel for his sake.
Yeah.
I am sure Will knows that. But we would do well to remind him when his days grow dark.
Wait, does she also think that Will gave up his soul? You sound like you speak from experience. I hoped we'd find another way to free him from his pact. You sacrificed his father. Do you really believe he deserves our comfort? Okay, no. We can say that he sacrificed his father. Cool, it doesn't sound like we are super confused. It wouldn't surprise me if Jaheira is confused because she's been confused about a lot for quite a while. You sound like you speak from experience.
No one truly understands the weight of loss until they've worn it a while. There is no shame in sharing the load when you need to.
Alright. How are you two doing now?
Moon Maiden, hear me. Protect the woman we both love so very dearly.
She's standing right next to you.
Ally mine. We are reunited once more. I was just regaling sweet Isabel with tales of our prowess.
Very impressive. Thank you for helping Aelin. That wizard sounded absolutely dastardly.
Yeah, what he was doing with elementals was pretty cool and dangerous for us. My pleasure, he had it coming. Hopefully he'll be the last. I hope you can rest easy now, Dame Aelin. I'm going to say that because she had some sort of emotional troubles. So yeah, I hope you can rest easy now. You've had a hard life.
I always do, with darling Isabel by my side. Enjoy the spoils of your victory. Spin memories of Leroican's death in your mind like silk floss. My darling, we must inform our friend of our news.
Indeed. I've scouted a Selûnite enclave outside the city. They faced the Absolute's armies and come out battered and bruised. Aelin and I will go to them, provide what help we can.
But fear not. When the time comes for you to face the foe of foes, Isabel and I will stand by your side.
We wouldn't miss it. Not for anything.
Go well, friend. We will see you soon. And with our great powers combined, this city will be saved.
Okay, so they're leaving our camp, it seems.
The devil Mizora has made herself quite at home, hasn't she?
Yes.
Do make her feel as unwelcome as you can.
I'll keep that in mind.
Patricide is often the first step toward greatness. But I hope Will does not regret sacrificing his infernal powers.
Yeah. I mean, it's a potential problem, but presumably if he keeps his powers until after the Absolute's dead, and the Absolute won't be dead until we've already taken down the other dead too, hopefully that'll be the end of our challenges. And he won't necessarily need his powers at that point. Even if he does turn into, you know, a level 1 commoner. We'll get to you in a moment, Will.
Will sacrificed his own father. I hope freedom from the Pact is worth it to him.
Yeah. She's working hard to try and save her parents, so that probably hits her harder than most of the rest of us. Like, she's getting out from under Shar, which is a similar situation, but doesn't have to sacrifice anyone, really. Just who she used to be. And Will.
Gods, I spent 7 years choked by Mazora's leash. And I spent 7 years hoping to break free. I never knew freedom could taste so bittersweet.
It's a little late for remorse, don't you think? No, that's a harsh statement. You are your own man now, Will. It's better this way. A fantastic power play. With your father gone, you can rise up and take his place. That is such a cruel, dark way to look at it. While he's mourning the death of his father, just be like, hey, but you can now have a leadership role in the city. So congrats, you're moving on up. I thought you never regretted taking the Pact. I mean, he has said that. But then he also talks about how he wants to get out of the Pact. I guess his phrasing was that from the day he took it, it was the most proud decision he's ever made. But the fact he says he's been trying to get out for the last 7 years just seems like what he says doesn't always line up with other things he's said. But yeah, I thought you never regretted taking the Pact. I think that's an interesting statement.
I didn't. I don't. My sacrifice kept Baldur's Gate safe from Tiamat's rage. But that doesn't mean that the leash never chafed. That I was content to lap up whatever nonsense Mizora fed me. The leash has been broken and my father left for dead. Tomorrow I celebrate my gain. But today, I mourn my loss.
A moment passes. In the stillness, you find a mote of tranquility.
The Raven Guard name now lives solely with me. I will make it count for something.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. He doesn't regret the Pact because it saved the city from Tiamat's cult. But he's hated everything he's been forced to do for the 7 years under it. So, for that one day when he saved the day, it was worth it. But the remaining 7 years is chafed. Okay. Makes sense. Your father's not dead yet, Will. Maybe there's a way to save him. We're going to try, but I'm guessing Mizora has set it up specifically and is going to do her best to make sure that we can't. Because otherwise, like, the whole point for her was a life for a life. If we manage to free Will and save his father, then we just won on the deal. Which she's going to do her best to not allow. What's our next step then? I'm going to say it. Your father's not dead yet, Will. Maybe there's a way to save him. I doubt it, but maybe.
I signed his life away before the Hell's Witnesses. It would be easier to drink the sticks down to the last drop than to alter his fate.
Yeah.
I'd be a fool to wish otherwise.
What's our next step then?
We obtain the final 2 nether stones and take back our minds. And the city. From the brain.
Okay. I think that is everything. So let's camp. Seems like a good selection of random stuff. Full rest. Ooh, and we get another event. Are we with the Emperor? I guess so.
They say that home is where a person can be their truest selves, without guile, without pretense. You did well to see off the Githyanki who had invaded mine. And now that you have seen where I come from, you know all there is to know about me. At least, all that matters. The flavors of my favorite fiddlehead soup, should you wish to experience it for yourself. My beloved confidant and loyal companion Rascal.
Yep.
The very first reward I gifted myself on completion of my first adventure. The garments with which I concealed and later constructed my appearance as the Emperor. We spoke of my relationship with Duke Berlin Stelmane, a story I have told no one else. I have no more secrets from you. No need to resort to subterfuge. We are true allies now, working towards a common goal.
You really don't sound like a mind flayer. You led an exciting life. Why did you conceal it from me? Why did you resort to subterfuge at all? You did some pretty bad things. I'm not sure how I feel about being your ally. See, that's true. You do a great impression of a human, but you're not fooling me. He's definitely different than other mind flayers, but that's because they are being controlled by an elder brain, which is interesting. He is able to retain the mind he had back when he was human. But yeah, if we're being honest, I'm going to go with the honest answer of you did some pretty bad things. I'm not sure how I feel about being your ally.
You wouldn't have even come this far without me. So, as I see it, you don't have a choice.
I didn't have a choice.
The only way we were ever going to get close enough to the brain to destroy it was by working together. But few would trust a mind flayer. So I did what I had to convince you. I studied you, your motivations, your actions, your desires. I deduced the best way to align your goals with my own.
You make it sound like I was some sort of experiment. I mean, possibly to some extent, yeah. What did you learn? You could have been open with me from the start, or you tried to control me. Also true. You make it sound like I was some sort of experiment. I think that's the more fun statement.
Perhaps. At first, I did consider that you were just a problem to be solved. And not an easy one at that. But I persisted. I needed your absolute dedication to the cause. I anticipated the challenge, and I anticipated your resistance. What I didn't anticipate was how reasonable you would be. You don't like to be coddled, cajoled. But you responded well to logic, to rational arguments, to cold, hard facts. You saw straight to the core of what really mattered.
It's reasonable. I could have done with a little more coddling. No, I enjoyed our conversations. Or I saw right through you. I'm not going to say I could have done with more coddling. That feels weird. Probably at times I enjoyed the conversations. And I don't know that I always saw right through him. So I'm going to go with 2. I enjoyed our conversations.
As did I. Sometimes, I felt almost like we were dancing our way towards something deeper.
True? Are you trying to flirt with me now? I think you misread the signs. I'm fine with what we have now. Or absolutely not, you freak. Yeah, is he trying to romance me? I'm gonna just say I think you misread the signs. I'm fine with what we have now. I'm not interested in a romance with you.
I'm sorry. You're right. Now's not the time. through the Crown's magic, it has complete control over each and every member. It was intelligent before, but now, with its hive mind established across the city, it is well on its way to becoming indestructible. We must stop it while we still can, before we too become its slaves.
Are you saying that we'll reach a point where even with Orpheus's magic, that might not be enough? Because that would be bad. Okay, but I think I'm going to end this episode here, and we will meet back up in the city after I've cast all the usual spells, or I guess the usual spell, to get us our +10 movement speed. So see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.